my name's Sierra Mize. I'm doing this video for Professor Jake Searcy's Managerial Economics class, the ECP 3703. I chose to do my video on a comparison between monopolistic competition and the monopoly environment. These are two topics that can be easily confused, so I hope these graphs comparing the short run and the long run can help ease some of the confusion. In monopolistic competition, there are many buyers and sellers. Each firm in the industry produces a differentiated product. There is free entry into and exit from the industry. So firms like this would be coffee, tea, makeup, cereal, underwear, cheeseburgers. These are all firms that there are several in the market and they all have a little bit of a differentiated product, but it's mostly the same. So in the short run, both monopolistic competition and monopolies are profit maximizing. So here we have the sloping demand curve and the sloping marginal revenue curve. And from here we have our marginal cost curve, and this is where we get the price and the quantity demanded. Follow it up to where the marginal revenue and marginal cost intersect, then take that up to the demand curve, come over, and that's the price. Then you have your average total cost curve coming through right here. Match that along the quantity, bring it over, that's your average total cost, and all this here is profit. Same thing with the monopoly environment. Again, you have sloping demand curve, sloping marginal revenue, you have your marginal cost curve, your average total cost, your quantity is the intersection between the marginal cost and the marginal revenue. Draw that straight up to the demand line, bring that over, that's your price, and then average total cost along the quantity, bring it over, that's the average total cost to the firm, and then here are all your profits. Now, in the long run, monopolistic competition is going to break even. It breaks even because there are so many firms in the market, and each firm earns zero economic profits but charges a price that exceeds the marginal cost of producing the good. The fact that price exceeds marginal cost implies that monopolistically competitive firms produce less output than consumers want. Consumers are willing to pay more for another unit, yet the firm will not produce more output because of its concern with profits. Even though the firms have some control over price, competition among them leads to a situation where no firm earns more than its opportunity cost of producing. There are too many firms in the industry to enable any individual firm to take full advantage of economies of scale and production. So in the long run, break even looks like this. You have your demand curve, your marginal revenue curve. Here's your marginal cost. And bring down here the quantity from marginal revenue and marginal cost intersecting. Take that up to the demand slope. Bring that over. There's your price. However, because it's in the long run, your average total cost line is actually going to intersect right at that point. Average total cost. So here your average total cost would equal the profits. So you're breaking even. Now in a monopoly environment, their long run looks the same as profit maximizing. A monopoly is where a single firm serves an entire market for a good that has no close substitutes. An example of this would be like GRU in Gainesville, or Clay Electric in Keystone Heights, or I live in Melrose, so the Melrose Water Association is the only place that I can get water from. So it's one company that controls the market in a relevant area. The problem with monopolies is that there's too little output at too high of a price. A monopolist is restricted by consumers to choose only those price-quantity combinations along the market demand curve. The monopolist can choose a price or quantity, but not both. They can sell higher quantities only by lowering the price. If the price is too high, consumers may choose to buy nothing at all. Now, the problem with monopolies, aside from them controlling the market, is that they get this dead weight loss of monopoly. And this is where price exceeds marginal cost, so the monopolist produces less output than is socially desirable. Consumers would be willing to pay more for one more unit of output than it would cost to produce the unit, but the monopolist won't do it because it would reduce the firm's profits. So this is where the dead weight loss of monopoly comes into play. So this looks very similar. Whoops. Here's the profits. But here is this dead weight. And really, in the long run, monopoly environments have no effect unless the source of the monopoly power is eliminated. So I hope this cleared up some confusion between monopolistic competition and the monopoly environment. Remember, it's monopolistic competition and it's competitive, so there's more than one firm. And in a monopoly, it's just one firm. All right, hope this helps you. Thanks.